Hi, I'm Shelley Wood, the managing editor at TCT-MD. This is On Record, a regular program looking at hot topics in interventional cardiology and beyond. Today, we're talking about TCT Connect. Usually I do this in the CRF studios in New York City, but instead I'm doing it from the comfort of my own office. And my guests here today are Martin Leon, Juan Granada, and Roxana Mehran. Thanks all of you for doing this with me here today. I'd love to start with you, Marty. Can you tell us a little bit about the live cases at TCT Connect this year? Because of course, live means something different in the COVID era. What have you got planned for us?
Thanks, Shelley. For us, the live cases at TCT is just fundamental. We've been doing this for 32 years, but this is the first time that we've been confronted with a different scenario. So we had to come up with a creative solution. And our creative solution was that, yes, we are doing, in fact, we've done 22 live cases from 9 sites from around the world that'll be televised to 3 different venues, 15 in the main arena, 3 will be to the innovation sessions on a different channel, and we'll also be transmitting some live cases to the endovascular forum on Sunday. But the way we did it was interesting. We worked very closely with the sites. We have thematic sessions on what we think are the most important educational topics. We've got some of the best operators in the world, and we picked 2 moderators and 4 discussants. And as they did the live case, which we recorded, we had the kind of dynamic interaction with the operators that we would normally have if we were doing a live case. And it went surprisingly well. The conversation, the educational value, the comments. We were fortunate to have great sites, great operators, and the panelists were very dynamic. So it's a mix of coronary, structural, and endovascular cases that are truly at the highest level. And so I'm confident that when people see these live cases in the main arena and elsewhere at the meeting, they're going to be thrilled with the value and the fact that they're going to feel like they're part of the old TCT. It's going to have very much that same look and feel.
I bet for some of these procedures too, these are cath labs and structural heart labs that were getting up doing these procedures after pressing pause for a while with COVID-19. So lots of people excited to see some of this stuff, I'm sure.
I can't begin to tell you all the backstories about how we were able to organize all of this, because it is challenging, obviously.
That's exactly the kind of thing I want to hear, but maybe this isn't the place for it. Right. Well, I'd love to turn the question over to you, Juan, because I know that for you, for many years now, you've really championed innovation at TCT. Tell us a little bit about what that looked like this year. And especially I want to know about Shark Tank, because how do you kind of capture Shark Tank in a virtual setting?
It's actually interesting because so the format for this year is we have three days in which the innovation session is going to be presented in the dedicated innovation and e-training channel. We have a block of time around noon that will be devoted to innovation. We have each day a session that is going to have a case, a recorded live case on an innovative technology, followed by a specific session. So we have vascular innovation, structural innovation, for example. So it's a dedicated thematic sessions. And then the second part of the meeting is going to be Shark Tank. We got actually a fair amount of submissions this year. We got over 30 plus submissions. We selected 6. And it was actually very interesting just to have these discussions online. As a matter of fact, it was actually more fun. Because, people were, concentrated in the session and we had a lot of fun. We allowed the companies to present, and then we had a very nice discussion after that. And then we had a closed door session in which we essentially talked about all the companies and selected the winner that will be announced, at the end of the second session.
Okay.
We're giving actually also the $200,000 thanks to the John Deehan Foundation this year as well.
Okay. Yeah, you have to hope that during the whole pandemic that the inventors amongst you are out doing those kind of thinking and ideas that will move the field forward once this goes away, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Roxana, let's ask you about the late breakers. This is usually where I spend the bulk of my time at TCT, but What did you get in terms of submissions this year, and what does that look like?
So thank you, Shelley. I mean, as you know very well, for all of these years, this is the 32nd year of TCT, and science has always been the core of our meeting. We work really hard and we're so grateful to our colleagues and collaborators who bring their science to TCT as the place to share it with the world. We, despite COVID-19, had 34 late-breaking trials, late-breaking science that really spans the field of interventional cardiology, transcatheter cardiovascular therapeutics, really going from peripheral vascular to coronary and structural. We're thrilled that we've once again been able to engage our colleagues to have specific late-breaking trials that are co-sponsored by our editors and in these incredible journals, and we just can't wait to share that with the world. There's going to be a lot, really spanning coronary, structural, and peripheral vascular. So, yeah. And lots of peripheral vascular clinical trials came to us this year, and so we're excited about that. And there's a whole session just dedicated to peripheral vascular interventions. So it's going to be very exciting.
I've had a look through them, and some of them look like they're sort of the earlier stage exciting drama, but some of it looks like it could actually change in practice, or this is me, the non-physician, saying this, but it looks as if some of those results do have the ability to at least change some degree of how people are managing patients now.
You know, we're very excited because, you know, as you know, TCT has always been sort of the place where some of this most important trials in our field is presented, and there's no other place to talk about high bleeding risk patients, the patients with aortic stenosis undergoing TAVR or transcatheter mitral valve replacement and distal embolic protection devices. All of these are going to be presented in one way or another. IVUS guided versus angio-guided DES implantation, the use of different devices in some of the important procedures that we're doing, complex procedures. So we're very, very excited about this year's showing of excellent clinical trials.
Okay, I should have backed up to something that Marty said earlier, and that's to the sort of the channels that are there. Because as I understand it, there's going to be 3 different challenges. There's the main arena, there's innovation, and then there is the world sessions. And can I understand what world refers to? I'm looking through it, I can see specific countries mentioned.
World Connect, and Juan
Connect.
With that. So he's connecting the world. So we love the World Connect channel. Juan, you want to tell everybody about it?
Look, no, we brainstorm a lot about the concept of a digital meeting, and one of the things is TCT being global. We thought that we should dedicate, time to connect the regions. So essentially, as you see, every session has a target according to the time zone. This is something that people may not realize, but if you see the early morning sessions, target mainly the Asia Pacific zone. Around noon is around, Americas and Europe. And then just, late afternoon is Latin America, Canada, and so forth. So we designed him that way, brought faculty from those areas to be part of the World Connect session. But the most important thing is, instead of being redundant, what we actually thought was, what are the most controversial, relevant topics to be discussed during the meeting, which typically that's not the way that a meeting like TCT is planned, because, you have a big program with a lot of topics. If you look at the World Connect topics, they are extremely relevant clinical problems that right now people have questions about. So if you go and browse the World Connect sessions, you will see that it is not like a simple TAVR session. It's about PVLs. It's about a high bleeding risk. It's about thematic sessions that people are going to have a lot of fun and are going to be very impactful.
And my understanding by looking through it, just to clarify something, it's not that a Japan session is only about controversies in Japan. Rather, it does look like it has international sessions, but they're grouped within these different.
But for example, knowing the impact that Japan has had, for example, on imaging, we brought some of these sessions that we know they are really good at to be actually a highlight of Japan, for example.
Okay. Marty, you were trying to jump in there.
Yeah, I was going to try to say that, TCT has always been accused of being comprehensive, encyclopedic. Everything there is to know about everything is a TCT. Well, when you do a virtual meeting, you just can't do that. You just can't have 2,000 lectures. So World Connect basically does two things. First, it brings the world together, which is one of the main themes of TCT. 110 countries send people to TCT. And we've distilled the content down to 24 hours, 6 hours a day, 4 days.
Okay.
And that content is the essential content. It's not comprehensive where every device, every stent, every this, every that, but it is the most important controversial updates that a practitioner and a scientist would want to know, laid out very thematically with involvement of key faculty from all over the world. So it's a very nice way to be able to crystallize TCT into its essential didactic content.
Okay. I feel like me and my team are going to spend considerably more than 24 hours on it. And I know that you guys have pulling it all together.
Yes.
Roxana, any other final points you want to direct us to, or, you can make
Roxana,
a
the FDA session, you have to talk
Yeah,
about
Oh,
that.
of course,
there
I
are
meant
just
to mention
so
it.
many great things. In addition to first of all, what I think is very unique this year is that there are these amazing live cases that Marty just talked about, but then there are these e-training sessions. So you can go train and then come back and watch a live case, or watch the live case, then go into an e-training session that pertains to that live case because you didn't know how to use that device, but you watched an expert just do it live. And now you can go to another channel to the e-training and really focus on that particular device. I think that's really unique, and you don't have to run in the conference center to do it. You just click and you get there. And so to me, as a learner, this is like incredibly important. Then, of course, the FDA town hall has been always one of the things that I love most about it, because it truly is an open public hearing, if you will, with all of the stakeholders. We've always been very open, incredibly inclusive. It's the only place where industry actually gets to go on stage and talk to us, which is really important, as well as the payers, regulators, trialists, clinicians, the naysayers, the yay-sayers, everyone gets in the room. And what we had to do is to kind of condense this and crystallize it, as Marty said, into 3 90-minute sessions. Usually it's literally an 8-hour session, 4-hour sessions. So what we did is sort of pick the best of the best and what's really, really important. So one full day in the middle day is COVID-19, all of the things that we need to think about our
That's a great point. I should have asked. Yeah, I did notice the COVID-19 content, and that's so much. If I look at the sort of readership right now, what's happening on TCT-MD, they are really reading the COVID-19 coverage. So I did see there's a dedicated abstract. It's sort of abstracts, is it not, or is it other?
So we have a couple of things. So there is the FDA town hall has a dedicated COVID-19 session for 90 minutes. But there is a dedicated COVID session that Juan has put together. Maybe Juan, you want to talk about that?
No, about the best actually COVID submissions. I mean, there is a dedicated session, and also there is a dedicated session in how COVID affected innovation this year. And you will see very prominent people that participated in these roundtable discussions that were very nice because they were open, talking about, the challenges, how big companies, small companies, adapted to the crisis, and very, very interesting sessions.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else we haven't touched on? You guys have served as some great prompts for me. I'm just getting up to speed on everything. Well, the program actually has only just gone live, so I've been poring over it. But we do want to give TCT-MD viewers a sense of what's to come. So thank you for making time to tell me a bit about it.
I'm just hoping, Shelley, that you will tell the world that they can let their fingers do the walking, going around and enjoying all that there is about interventional cardiovascular therapeutics. And it's all there at TCT in a comprehensive, really well thought out. I mean, the organizers worked really, really hard to keep the attention of our audience. And we know that you'll be able to hopefully feel the same. I hope you'll like it. We want to always make sure you like it, Shelley.
Oh, sure. I really have missed seeing people in person, but I must say I don't miss wearing the dress shoes and having to run a huge conference hall to get to the next session.
Right.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you all in person one day, but thanks so much for making time for this today, all of you.